Very beautiful, isn't it? But diseases are not. Many times we see that the people who have are affected with some diseases, reach to a place from where there is no return. Means their state or the condition becomes so worse that sometimes some people say the person should, he had better die than staying alive because he has more pain in living than maybe in death. And hence, seeing this particular point where some people reach to such a condition which is very worse condition, there is some kind of law people are demanding. In India also they are demanding. In some countries they had made such a law. They say that such a law should be made where such a kind of patient should get an honorable death. Why to let the person, accept or bear the pain or the suffering of such kind of diseases or such kind of medical condition? Instead, why not give such a patient an instant and without pain, or I could say painless death? So such kind of law should be made where this kind of death should be allowed. This is what people are demanding in India also. So what do you think? What do you think? Euthanasia, the name of the process. People say it's euthanasia and it should be legalized in India. In India, it has been legalized or it has been made a law in certain countries. It is also called as mercy killing. Means if somebody is in pain, then have mercy and kill that person, relieve that person of the pain he or she is suffering from that unbearable condition. So, should mercy killing be allowed in India? What do you think? आपको क्या लगता है? As far as my opinion goes, I find it highly laughable and ridiculous. You are talking about mercy killing. Wow! Mercy in killing. How could there be any mercy in killing? No such a killing should be allowed, however merciful it seems to be or people say it to be. No killing can be merciful. And hence, what does that mean? It means I totally agree with this mercy killing or euthanasia. I don't think such euthanasia or mercy killing be allowed in our country. In fact, I would say it should never or nowhere be allowed, because after all it is just a killing. In fact, it will be a formal killing, as we will discuss this. How? Some people who are demanding it, when there was a case in Supreme Court, they say that as per Article 21, I guess, where it is right to live, they say it is also right to death. And if somebody wants to die, it is his right. He must be allowed to do that because it is already his life, right. But is it so? Of course not. Right to life is a right to life. It cannot be right to death, and such a kind of thing should not be allowed. If somebody has to die, then how will we know that he died or he has been killed? Already you are talking about mercy killing. So you are talking about somebody killing that person, which is not his right. Even if we accept to certain condition that right to life is right to die, death also, but it should be dying then, it should not be killing, whereas the euthanasia is not dying. Euthanasia is killing somebody, using somebody else. And hence I don't think that such a thing should be allowed. Euthanasia must be rejected. They say some patients suffer from such an incurable disease and the patient has to constantly bear the pain. But is it the solution for this kind of suffering? Can death be solution for suffering? Of course not. If imagine that your vehicle is down somehow, then destroying the vehicle is a solution to that? Is it solution? Of course not. You have to repair it. You have to find a way to repair. We are a very developed world now, and we have so many solutions to every problem, and some of them are being solved. You have recently seen that we have gone through this corona, where everybody was saying a vaccine cannot be found in such a small span of time. There are many diseases we have never found, but we have found it, and it has been effective. We are living a normal life just like before now. What I am trying to say is only because a patient has reach a place from where it seems there is no point of return? Of course not. There may be. We have to find it. That's what the point is. And killing is definitely not a solution to such a kind of problem. Finding a solution to such a kind of problem is the solution. That's what I think. Our medical science has done great job of finding solution to many diseases and many problems. You might have heard about a name. Let me tell you one example. You might have heard about one of the Formula One car racer, one of the best, Mr. Michael Schumacher. When I was a child, I saw him the best driver of Formula. And in one particular accident, he has gone in coma. And he was in coma for 5 years. That's interesting. He was in coma for 5 years. After 5 years, he came out of the coma. Isn't it a miracle? If such a miracles can happen with Michael Schumacher, it can happen with anyone else. Of course it can happen. But if we declare it is not going to happen with my patient, that is nothing but a stupidity, I guess. So, only because the patient has reached to a very worse condition, euthanasia cannot be allowed. Killing cannot be allowed. How could you do that? How could you allow the killing? You cannot. You should not. You must not. If you regularly come in contact with the news, then you will find that many times you can read the news that somebody was declared nearly dead, and for a few months or for years, such people were thought that the person is anyhow he is going to die, but somehow the person has come out of that particular illness or whatever state the person was in, and the person is living a very happy life. Go in the news, or you go through the different news on internet, and you will find hundreds and hundreds of such kind of examples are there. It means there is a solution. You are not reaching to it. That's the point. We have to find a way through which the solution that those people found should also be available to other people around here. That is the solution. Killing cannot be solution. That's what the point is. Solution already exists at many places. Somehow we have not reached it. So government should do what? Government should find the solutions at different places around the world and find that solution and bring that solution and make it available to our people. Sometimes people even talk about the financial condition of the patients or the relative. They say that they are not capable and hence it should be allowed. How illogical it is. If you have a right to life, you cannot be allowed to die by the country only because you don't have money. So what I am saying is, if you don't have money, still government is responsible for that. Government should take care of that. And in fact, government has already taken care of that. There are many schemes of government where anyone can get the insurance, and through that insurance the person can definitely take care of his expenses. So money is not the issue. You cannot kill a family member saying we don't have money to treat. You have money because government has already assured you, government has insured you and all your illnesses. So money is not the issue, and only because saying that you don't have money you cannot kill your family member. There are many issues about this euthanasia or mercy killing. You know, if we allow this, who will decide whether the patient is at a place of point of no return? We have already said that there are many places, many people who have already returned from such places. So how could such a patient be declared as a point of no return? No one can decide this. Even if we allow this, then who will decide whether the person should be killed or not? If it is his right to life and right to death, then someone else cannot decide this. Right? A family cannot decide because it is his, that patient's right to live and right to die. Only he should decide it, isn't it? And if we talk about he should decide it, then how could he decide when he is already in problem, already in pressure? If a person is somehow in such a kind of critical illnesses, can he take a correct decision? Of course not. Such decisions are not acceptable. Even in court of law we find a person in not correct state of mind is never punished. Then a person who is critically ill to the point where he is thinking of dying, how could he be in a correct state of mind? It means such a kind of even vishesh of the patients must also not be acceptable. That itself means a killing is a killing and it should never be allowed, it should never be accepted by giving any label of validity. Life and death have somehow been given by the Almighty. And let Almighty give and take it. We should not do it. If we do it, it must be wrong. Otherwise everybody would start doing it. And that is not going to bring beauty in this world. It will only make the matter worse. If we allow this, then we will open a Pandora box of killing in the name of euthanasia. It's very easy for people to find a way. Those people who want to kill somebody, it is very easy to find a legal way to kill that person if we make mercy killing as legal. Even a good man will lose his life in the name of mercy killing if this happens. It is not just that. Tomorrow people will say, let suicide be also the legal. Not just that, there will be so many things. If this is allowed, there will be so many things which will have to be allowed because they will be on the same line. And hence, this seems to be illogical and should not be allowed. Already there is a huge human trafficking. And if such a kind of laws are allowed, then you can even just imagine. Those people with money will just keep buying the people with good organs. A small disease will attract a death. We see that even a small problem makes the person frustrated. What would happen if such a kind of things are allowed? People would like to die and people would like to kill. Somebody would like to provoke somebody to die, and then people under such a kind of influence will seek the euthanasia. Such a person's body will be trafficked. This is going to happen. You cannot imagine what problematic things will happen in this fully corrupt world. The world is fully corrupt of everything. The corruption of money, corruption of mind, corruption of thoughts, corruption of emotions, corruption of behavior and everything. Condition. We cannot imagine a good thing. And hence, we should not allow such a kind of law. In fact, let me tell you, the Australia and Ireland, these are the countries which had made this law of euthanasia. They found the misuses are too many compared with really the uses. Many people died unnecessarily because it has been misused. And they did what? Imagine, guess what they did? They recalled the law. They stopped this law from execution. How could we go for this? A law which is bound to get misused. We should never make such a law. And hence, euthanasia should never be allowed. Mercy killing should never be allowed. That's what I think. The suffering of the patients must be decreased, not by killing the patient, but by bringing some solution which decreases such a suffering and makes the patient healthy again. Find the cure. The cure is always there somewhere, and that's what is the solution. Mercy killing is not the solution. Finding a cure for the problem is the solution. That's what I think. Tell me your opinion in the comment. Thank you very much. Bye.